Well, hello there all you absolutely magnificent people, and welcome back to another episode of An Ecologist Plays, where we talk about nature while playing games. My name is Will, and as you can see, we are back in Monster Hunter World, and my oh my, it is wonderful to be back with all of you after our firstborn arrived last week. So let's get back to some missions, shall we? Now today, I believe we are going to encounter a Rathalos. And in preparation for that, what I do have on me is the Dragon Bone Cutter level 2. So that weapon, that will be the charge blade I'll be using, and then I've got my Blossom gear all on me. I have also just replaced my survival charm with a shock charm, because as far as I know, Rathalos is, well, it's most vulnerable to dragon damage, but then secondly, you can also go for some thunder damage, so that is what I will be going for. And finally, let's head on over to the ancient forest, right over there, and let's finally do a bit of an expedition there with Rathalos that is waiting for us right over there. And here we go!
Let's split up and search. Don't worry, I'll be careful this time.
That's what you say now, Handler, but I do not trust the fact that you say we should split up. I don't think you're going to be careful at all. Alright, nonetheless, let us look for some signs of the First Wyverians. Now, I did previously find a First Wyverian over here, somewhere. So I guess this is as good a place as any to start looking for them. Oh, it's wonderful to be back in the ancient forest. My oh my, we haven't been here in ages. Now, there also appear to be some butterflies up here. I've never actually seen those butterflies, so let's see if I can grab one there. Yes, a cobalt butterfly. Oh, that's brilliant. A beautiful, vibrant butterfly with cobalt blue wings. Now, blue wings generally is caused not by a pigment in the wings, but actually by the structure of the wings, the scales on the butterfly wings, that then refracts the light and actually makes it appear that bright blue color. Oh, that is beautiful. Okay, so let's grab another one over there. A nice big one apparently, and let's see if we can get any more to come back, because apparently these little ones over there were flying in a group of 4, I think. And there we go. We don't want them, or 5 actually, we don't want them to now be alone, because we have caught the one butterfly there. So let's catch the whole swarm, if possible at all. There we go, that's the 4th one. Apparently also caught an ant. Now, it is quite possible that these butterflies were trying to compete for reproductive rights in the area, and kind of defending a breeding site. Now, we don't often think of butterflies doing that, but I have definitely, amongst other things, seen at least one butterfly that defended what we call a lek site, or a lek, which is a site that is defended only for the purposes of breeding. Oh, look, for some reason we can't pick this up, which means this must be a bug we can actually catch. There we go. A Hercodrome. Oh, nice. Obviously based on the Hercules beetle on Earth. The large beetle with impressive horns, Hercodromes only inhabit 7 specific spots in the ancient forest, and this apparently is one of them. Wow, okay, so this is supposed to be an episode focused on Rathalos, and we're already just catching bugs. Isn't that wonderful, catching a whole bunch of insects. Now, I said bugs, but none of the 3 species we actually caught are technically bugs. We've got an ant over here, which is in the Hymenoptera. We've got a Lepidoptera, the butterfly, and we got a beetle in the Coleoptera, but nothing in the true bugs, the Hemiptera. Now, there are some more of these cobalt butterflies flying around here, so let's have a look. Yes, there you can see the beautiful blue color as they split their wings open. You can see the blue color on the top side, not on the bottom, not on the underside of the wings, and the idea being that when they close their wings, they would be well camouflaged. I mean, blue sticks out like a sore thumb. So if they just have the blue color, predators will see them very, very easily. But as they're doing here now, they're most likely, this may be a bunch of males trying to attract a female. The female will see the vivid blue colors and be attracted to them, and most likely will then go for the biggest or brightest blue male, and then, yeah, it is on. So there is some sexual selection here for bright blue colors, but as I've mentioned, that blue color not from pigments laid down in the scales of the wings. Instead, the wings have a specific structure that breaks up the light and refracts it as a certain blue. And most likely it is a shimmering blue, indicating that some light actually passes through the first layer in the scales and then gets refracted a second time and bounces back through the scales. And that gives it that shimmery blue effect. It's really, really amazing. That is an example of what we call structural coloration, which is when the coloration is not due to actual pigments laid down, but instead the structure of the scales or whatever, the fur or something along those lines. Now, I can't actually see where we are supposed to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to run around and see if I can find any signs of the First Wyverians. I would expect them to be a little bit more in the forested environment. Let's head into this area over here. Oh, you know what? We actually have a cave entrance coming up. And that means we need to keep an eye out for some of those bat-like creatures flying out. I think there may be some coming out of this entrance here. Maybe? Oh, no, maybe not. Ah, man. Oh, some jaggrass again. Let's just avoid the jaggrass. I don't want to kill them unnecessarily. Oh, there we go. Ah, there they are. I think I found one. Did I get one? Yes, I got a scalebat. A flying wyvern that evolved to adapt to life in caves, taking on a much smaller bat-like appearance. Oh, that is marvelous. That is absolutely marvelous. We also have some help with the fight that's coming. We've got a Grimalkin that has joined our cause. Okay, so that scalebat I will put in my house when I have the opportunity. Oh, there's some more. Oh, missed them. Come on. There we go. Got a few. I think. No, I got one. Oh, well, one's better than none. That is marvelous. And we will talk about the scalebats then when we have them at our home. Now, I did just find some random footprints, and you know what? We're going to follow that, because why not? Oh, there we go. Some more random footprints. Oh, that's the First Wyverian footprints. Great, we found the tracks. Marvelous. Okay, so I was correct. They would be somewhere in the actual forest, not out in the open areas of the ancient forest. That's good to know. Oh, and there's also, Rathalos old scale over here. Right, so yes, Rathalos, I see you. Aha, there we go, the First Wyverian. Okay, so the First Wyverian and the Rathalos were kind of moving in the same, or through the same area. Right. I'll be honest, I am not looking forward to the Rathalos fight. And there we go, there are some gashes there, most likely used as a way to mark their territory.
Looks like we both arrived at the same place.
Hello there, handler. We meet again. We're just going to stop to smell the protea flowers, or actually pick the protea flowers here. Okay, let's see. Some more tracks here. Yeah, this looks like a nest. We probably shouldn't be here, eh? Let's see.
The trail seems to stop here.
Okay. There we go. Omen flies. Oh, the omen flies are red. Everything's scattering. That is a bad sign. That is a very bad omen. There we go. Yes, come on. Rathalos indeed. And okay, so fire attack. That is good to know. But as far as I know, it also has poison, so we have to be prepared for that as well. It actually has venom rather than poison. It is venomous and fire-breathing wyvern. Oh, look at that. Fiercely territorial and the largest monster we have fought thus far, or are fighting so far. Okay. Oh, this is such a beautiful beastie. Such a beautiful creature. And some more fire attack. Okay. Wunderbar. And of course, convenient slides. Ah, yes.
Look.
Let me guess, a Wyverian? Yep, indeed. Hello there.
Found you.
I love it. The look of this one in particular. Oh, man. Yes. You wish to know where you may find the dragon with a mountain of fire upon its back? I possess that knowledge, but you are not worthy yet. Only one who stands at the top of the food chain. Only once you have conquered the fire wyvern and horned wyvern that have descended upon the forest and the waste. Only then will you be worthy. Alrighty. So. Oh, the horned wyvern.
Horned wyverns? I guess we're supposed to hunt those two monsters.
Yes, we are indeed supposed to hunt them.
It must be referring to Rathalos and Diablos.
Yes,
Want to return
Diablos
to
indeed.
base and prep?
Okay, so I initially thought, okay, fire and horned, that will be the Rathalos and the Rathian, but Rathian is not the horned one. The Diablos would be the horned one in the Wildspire Waste. So yeah, we've got to go hunt one of those as well after this. So that'll be the next mission. But before we carry on and do anything else, let's just have a look at this first Wyverian here. Because look at that very interesting veil-like structure that he is wearing. This reminds me very much of the bridal veil stinkhorn, which grows very similar to this. We also encountered them, for example, in Green Hell, but there they don't have such a flat cap. The bridal veil stinkhorn actually has a more elongated cap, and then they have this veil. As the stinkhorn mushroom actually unfolds, this veil gets left behind. This, I believe, covers the fruiting body of the mushroom while it is still an egg, basically, or developing, and then as it elongates, it tears along in a specific way, resulting in this bridal veil-like structure here. And the first Wyverian here has fashioned that into a nice little hat or helmet. It's quite cool. Really awesome. I think in the first Wyverian's case over here, it may be a form of camouflage. I mean, look at the armor they're wearing and the staff there. Everything there. This just screams camouflage. So the bridal veil stinkhorn mushroom cap is really just a nice extra bit of adornment to help camouflage him. So you can also see, I believe, there, yes, indeed, 4 fingers, not 5 fingers. The first Wyverians all have 4 fingers. They're more elf-like than human-like in appearance. Basically convergent evolution there, with them looking very similar to humans, but they are a very different race altogether. Really, really awesome. A secretive little organization, and you can see there 3 fingers and a thumb, so 4 fingers on the first Wyverians, and also a bit of a more elf-like ears as well. That is quite cool. Oh, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, so we've got to hunt a Rathalos, and to do that, we are first going to prepare by going to base and having a very nice meal. And that also gives us elemental res up, so we're going to have some elemental resistance, and then we've got to go hunt a Rathalos. Alright, so I have, of course, scanned the scales and stuff like that, which is pointing us in the right direction now. And I'll be honest, guys, I'm not looking forward to this fight. This is going to probably be the most difficult one, or almost certainly going to be the most difficult one I have done thus far. Because I have never actually fought a Rathalos. And yet, here he is. I know he's a he because, well, Rathalos and Rathian are the same species. They are just male and female, and Rathalos here is the male. So let's do this, shall we? Okay, of course, it's going to take flight. And this is the point where we need to beware the fire breath. Yes, indeed. Oh, and the swipey tail. Okay, okay, wonderful. Very, very spiky tail indeed. Oh, what are you doing there? Oh, flood. Okay. That's a very interesting use of the environment, Rathalos. Not sure whether he did that intentionally or not, but yeah. That is marvelous. Thankfully, we have got a second Grimalkin also helping us in this fight, so we're not alone. Amazing grasping claws there. Typical raptor. Oh, and oh, we've been poisoned. Ah, there we go. That is, of course, also where the talons come in. The talons are where they store their toxins. I'm just going to drink a bit of herbal medicine here. Oh, and he has been caught. And not for long, unfortunately. We did not capitalize on that. Okay, so we've got to be where the talons of the Rathalos as well. You know what? It reminds me very much of the slow lorises, which are primates, which are the only known primates, at least that we know of. The slow lorises are the only known primates that are actually venomous, because they have a special... There we go. And again, we are... we have been envenomated. We're just going to, in this case, drink... that's a very potent toxin there. But the slow lorises are the only known venomous primates. They're not the only venomous mammals. There are some other venomous mammals, but they're the only primate that we know of that are, in fact, venomous. Oh, and there we go. Are we on? No, we're not on fire yet. There we go. He is down. So let us charge our axe, our shield here. Ah, man. Again got hit there. Now, we should be able to use the flash bug to our advantage here. Here we go. And that will just temporarily stun him so that we can... Ah, okay, he's gone again. And he keeps on running through me, so I am in danger. Is he? Yeah, he is enraged. That is not great, that is not great. Very unpredictable. Tail swipey swipies. Fire breath, everything. Okay, we're just going to kind of stay out of his way and probably dodge his fire breath attack, which there it comes. Luckily it is very well telegraphed. He did almost get me there with the claws though. And off he goes. Okay. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. That is one aggressive creature. But as I was saying, with the Rathalos, with the slow loris, the way the venom actually works is that they've got a gland that secretes a compound, and it's located basically in their armpit. And when they lick that, it mixes with their saliva, and that gives them a venomous bite. And I wonder whether the Rathalos actually has, like, venom on its claws, or venom glands on its claws, or whether it also is produced elsewhere, because now in Rathian, it is produced in the tail. And I'm wondering with Rathalos whether it is also produced in the tail, and then actually just taken over to the claws. It very well could be. So they then have venomous claws, which is a very interesting adaptation. That's for sure. Okay, so as soon as he comes close, we're just going to lash him, and it didn't work at all. I missed the chance there. Well, I got a hit on the tail. That's wonderful. Miss. Miss. Look, I'll take any hit I can get on it, not hit him on me. Oh, it's such a beautiful creature. Big wingspan, which it needs in order to actually carry its massive weight around. Because there is a point that dragons get too heavy to actually fly. And I think Rathalos is really pushing that envelope there. We're just going to hopefully get a nice, there we go, hit on his head. And there we go, charge the shield again. He is hungry, he is tired, he is not doing too well. And we're just going to make his day even worse. The thing is, I will try to capture him. I'm going to try not to kill him, I'm going to try to capture him. Because that will be marvelous. I don't want to kill any creatures if I don't have to. So, I'm going to just try and capture him. Oh, goodness, I did break his tail. Which I guess is great. I think the tail is where most of the venom is located. Maybe, I don't know. Oh, I'm being picked up. Something's happening to me. Being thrown around. Look, I just want to harvest your tail so I didn't cut it off for nothing. And you just making it very, very difficult for me to do that. Of course, I am poisoned. And in danger. Just overall, you know, not doing well. Now, just to quickly cut the tail here. Shish. But I do suspect... yeah, the Rathalos will indeed soon leave the area. So that is not great. That is not great at all. Yeah, so Rathalos and Rathian, the two Rath species. The male Rathalos being very involved with nest building apparently, using the bit of a spike in front of his jaw there to actually construct a nest, so that when the female then lays the eggs, they, you know, obviously lay it in that little nest there. Well, not little, big nest that they make. And the female then being very involved with feeding the young with the spike in front of her. But we'll chat about that when we actually encounter Rathian, which will be soon enough. Not today, obviously. And we may not even be able to fight this Rathalos, completely fight this Rathalos today. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Just gonna blind him. There we go. Oh, where did you go? There you are. And I think I may have broken his wings there. Which means he won't be able to fly away as easily. Unfortunately, it will mean he will still be able to escape overall. And of course, he will be able to poison us because, well, he still has his claws. And there we go. Okay, struggling to fly once his wings has been broken, and then he does collapse. Shame. I do feel sorry for the guy here. Okay, but he is still more than capable of defending himself. And blind you a bit again. He's looking a little bit worse for wear, but he's not done yet. So let us just, you know, choppy. Cool. Okay, of course he's enraged. Yeah, run, little one, run. Oh dear, okay. Ah, come on. Oh, I am screwed. Yeah, there we go. I knew that was coming. That's a lethal combo, that stunning you, the poison, or the venom actually. And then, of course, the fire breath. Like, wow. Wow. Hello. And let's start with a nice little flashbang to your face. I wonder whether we can't perhaps catch it already. What I'm going to do is I'm going to set up the pitfall trap here. And let's see, shall we? I don't think we can, but you know, it's going to be worth it. If we could, it will be marvelous. We have! We have indeed! We have indeed captured the Rathalos. Okay, so it was ready for capture. Oh, I'm so glad. I'm so super glad about that. Okay, so let's talk about Rathalos. Now that we have him captured here, I love the design of the wings here. Okay, so this one, unfortunately, the wings are kind of... No, maybe it's not torn. Maybe it's just the ground clipping through it. Anyway, so the design of the wings here. So we have... If we... Just come and look over here. Thankfully, we don't have a timer coming off now. Let's just stand a little bit to the back here. So, first of all, Rathalos. You see that little spike in front there? That is most likely not to fight with other Rathalos. That most likely is actually to help build the nest. To scrape the soil apart or to scrape sticks together to help build the nest. So, a really caring parent in that case, interestingly enough. Also, of course, lots of teeth there holding on to whatever prey they capture and scaled all over the body. Really flexible scales at that, really interlocking, but still allowing a lot of flexibility. So this is a creature that, just because it is scaly and big, doesn't mean that it is lumbersome. It is very agile. Then, of course, the wing here. So typical of, as we portray wyverns and dragons, we've got the arm that has developed into the wing over here. Of course, dragons and wyverns, some people distinguish them between how many legs have they got, with dragons having 4 legs and then a pair of wings, so technically 6 pairs of limbs, whereas typical wyverns, like Rathalos over here, will have the legs and then will have the arms having developed into wings, like we've got over here. Oh, and there goes Rathalos. Oh, man. Okay, so unfortunately, he is indeed gone. Oh, I thought he would stay here until we finish the expedition, but sadly not. Okay, so let's go to the hunter's notes here. So there we go. Okay, so there, of course, Rathalos is. So we've got the main arm bone over here, the humerus over there, then we've got the radius and ulna coming up over here, and then we've got the finger bones, it seems, almost sticking out from over there. This is, to me at least, very bat-like in appearance. Rather than something like a flying squirrel, which have what we call a patagium, which is just a membrane that is between the arms and the legs. It's a different method of flying, or gliding in the case of flying squirrels. So very bat-like in the wing appearance there. Also interesting, the markings that are shown here. As far as I know, the markings are unique, or kind of unique between individuals, and the markings are inherited from the ancestors. So you can kind of realize which ones are related to which ones by looking at the markings that are present on the wings. And most likely that also has an influence on sexual selection. Because if given a choice, most individuals in nature will try to not breed with a related individual or a closely related individual. Of course, there are some exceptions. If you look at Komodo dragons, for example, females that have undergone parthenogenesis, they create male offspring. And if they are stuck on an island and they wait long enough, technically they would be able to breed with their male offspring. So they kind of make their own reproductive partners. But that is really the exception to the rule. You don't want to breed with a close relative, because that, of course, is going to result in inbreeding, which you really don't want. So, yeah. The markings there may be a nice cue for the individuals to recognize which ones are related or not. I also think that maybe this is an honest advertisement as well. Honest advertisements are generally a good indication, a true indication of an individual's health. And maybe these markings here are more vivid or brighter the healthier an individual are. The antlers of deer, for example, would also be an honest advertisement, because if the buck is doing poorly this year, he's not going to develop very big antlers because he doesn't have the resource to spend on developing massive antlers. But if he's having a great year, he can actually spend a lot of resources developing or wasting actually on the antlers. And then the female goes, oh, that male is doing very well, because he obviously has a lot of resources at his disposal. He can actually develop massive antlers, which is really amazing. So the markings here, I think, may actually be brighter in healthier individuals and may help the Rathian determine which individual is a great one to breed with. Now, there are, of course, also some other interesting things that happen with the breeding here, with some Rathian and Rathalos sticking together and breeding together. I think that may be the case here in the ancient forest. We haven't encountered Rathian in the forest here. I don't think we have at the moment either. No Rathian, it seems, at the moment. But they can breed together in the ancient forest. But in the Wildspire Waste, we don't actually find Rathalos. We only find Rathian. And it may be that the Wildspire Waste is a poor quality habitat, and the less dominant females, the less dominant Rathian, are basically forced out to the Wildspire Waste, and they've got to try and survive there and breed there. But they're doing it without the male's support. Nonetheless, yeah, really an awesome species, really amazing, and I'm so happy we actually encountered the Rathalos, and I'm so happy we only died once. I really expected that to go, very poorly. Now, we are going to end the expedition, but this is not the end yet. This is not the end yet. Let's return from the expedition, and let's see what we got from that expedition, because we did capture the Rathalos, so we should be getting some extra resources there. There we go, we got the Rathalos shell, the Rathalos scale, and another scale, all because we captured the Rathalos rather than killing it. Well, that was marvelous. But now, of course, the Diablos. Diablos is waiting for us, and that will be the next one. But before we actually go and do that, let's quickly head on over to our room over here. There we go. Alright, now, let's have a quick look, shall we? First of all, our tail raiders, of course, they have collected the Kelby horns and pelts, so we're going to take that. And after our next mission, they're going to come back with some Legiana material. And there we go, instead of the flying Medusae, now we have got our cobalt butterflies flying around our room here. Really beautiful. So now they can carry on with their, well, whatever they were trying to do, trying to attract a female, although I think all of these are males. Usually the males are more brightly colored in these especially vivid species, and the females are a little bit duller in color because they are trying to be more camouflaged. They're not trying to attract a partner. These ones are trying to advertise how brilliant they are at staying alive despite sticking out like a sore thumb, and so they're trying to use their bright colors to attract a female. Whereas the females, they're not trying to do that. They just will take the best male. So yeah, that of course is most likely what's happening here. We also got our scalebats. So let us bring our scalebats in here. And there they are. There they are, sitting right up there. I was actually hoping we could have a look at them with our binoculars, but no, we cannot. But these guys really do have what appear to be a lot of convergent evolution with bats, in fact. First of all, if you look at the wings there, so let's zoom in on them there. There we go. So if you look at the wings there, you can see they look very bat-like. Also actually kind of like Rathalos, so you can see some convergent evolution there. But also if you look at the faces there, they look like some of the, I think they're Rhinocephalidae, some of the bats that actually have echolocation. And you can see big ear-like structures there. Those are most likely not its true ears, but most likely just scales that develop to actually channel sound waves into the ear canal. And then also it almost seems as though they may have some structures in the front of the faces very similar to the horseshoe bats and some of those other bats that also have echolocation that again may help to channel the clicking sounds they make to then bounce off surfaces or off prey items back to their ears, and then those scales there by the ears channel those sounds into the ear canals, and then they may be able to hear where the prey actually is, use sonar or echolocation to find their prey. I mean, if you go through the caves and they fly out, there are those clicking sounds that we could hear, and that sounds like echolocation to me, which is absolutely brilliant. Oh man, I love these little scale bats. Let's have a look. Hunter's notes. Does it say anything about scale bats? Here we go, scale bats. Upon inspection, these seem to have scales and claws and fangs. Great gravios, they're mini wyverns. I've made a huge discovery. So yes, they are in fact wyverns rather than bats. And one other thing that you can actually notice, very similar to bats, if you zoom in again, you can see they are hanging upside down, most likely from their hind feet, so not from their wings, but actually from their feet, hanging upside down, head pointing down, very similar to how bats would also roost. So that is just amazing. I love it. Coevolution gives me the fuzzies. I love it. All right. Now, I think that is actually where we will be calling it today, everybody. So thank you very much for joining me on our little adventure here. Next time, we are going to go for the Horned Tyrant below the sands. We are going to go and try to capture a Diablos, which, yeah, we'll see how that goes. So, of course, if you've got any comments or questions, please pop it down in the comments below. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe to the channel. Always great to welcome more people to the Ecology Squad and to help the channel to grow. Also, this Sunday, just a note, this Sunday we are going to have a Sim Safari live stream. Sim Safari is a game that really got me into nature conservation even more than I already was when I was a kid. It's a blast from the past, and we also did have some videos of it on our channel back like 4 years ago, 3 years ago, a long time ago. So yeah, come and tune in 6 o'clock until 8 o'clock South African time on Sunday for a bit of a Sim Safari live stream. And until next time, everybody, stay safe. I'll see you all soon. Cheers!